Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers who are, at the end of the week and the end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about our jobs without worrying about losing them, so we'll be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast, hence the Elvis. I'd like to start by giving a shout out to all of our Patreon patrons. That's right, we have a Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to all kinds of hidden episodes, lost episodes, interviews. There's all kinds of shenanigans. We have a special Facebook group. We do live recordings. It is amazing. You should sign up because if you do, you get your name read out like all of these beautiful, sexy, intelligent people like Inga, Kaylee, Terry J, Tracy B, Miss Wonderstats, Quentin P, Ekabex, Mistress Mischief, Natasha S, Miss Anthropy, Princess Buttercup, Dragon Lady, Helena C, Aaron B, Stephanie S, Texas Teacher Kristen, James Nally J, Samantha D, Lisa C, Rachel, Jen Jeannie, Exhausted Band Director, Kimberly K, Jessica A, Swiftly Ev Owners, Amanda F, Ariana L, Physics Runner, Steph, Michael M, William P, Aldrich T, La Scorpionita, Britt M, Teresa H, Biker Teach, Marsha M, Christina B, Jason F, Abby B, Sarah B, Regina N, Josie S, Sam B, Mary E, Kristen W, Vanessa J, Mary C, RJR, Kristen C, Johanna H, Irma A, Nimi, and Sarah N. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I'd also like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ludlam Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or no one in your building, you should go to ludlamdramatics.com. They have the best educational theater classroom resources you can imagine. They have posters, they have gifts for the kids, they have great stuff. So go check out Ludlam Dramatics and do it now. All right, folks, today we have a very special episode. We recorded it at the bar State and Ale in Dallas, and we had several of us around. We had Lucille Lane, Count Chocolate, Bunny O'Hare, Wayne Kurr, and myself as well. Later on, for some of the Patreon stuff, Lucille's boyfriend was there. Dude's like built, he's huge. But of course, she's gorgeous. What do you expect? She's gonna date a hunk. Anyway, you guys enjoy it. However, there is some background noise. I apologize for that. It sounds like it was recorded in a bar, but you can hear us pretty clearly, so I hope you guys can handle it. If not, let me know in the comments, and then we'll work on changing it. Anyway, guys, enjoy, and thanks for listening to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast! All right, well, welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. Let me check the levels. I think I had the gain up a little too much. Welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'm Elvis, your host, and we are live from State and Allen Restaurant right now. And across from me, I have Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Hey, Elvis. Hey, folks.
Hey, and then next to her, we have Miss Lucille Lane.
Hey, y'all.
And next to her, we have Count Chocolate.
County, hello.
And then right next to him, we have Mr. Wayne Kurr.
Your Wi-Fi does not support my porn.
No, it really shouldn't. Well, guys, welcome to the bar. Welcome to summer. Welcome to all the good things.
Woohoo.
And we're going to start with this one from the Reddits. This is from user Gary69. And it is, I told a violent student, I will fuck you up, son. So, here we go. For some context, I work in an alternative school for kids with challenging behavior. I've been in education for 20 years. Hear you there. I got called to assist with a student being physically aggressive, not uncommon. The student is an 18-year-old high school student who comes to school almost every 10 days. For the record, I love this student. I've known him for 5 years and had many great experiences. I've even come to his apartment to bring a laptop and food when his neglectful mother was out of town. This is a kid who has tons of potential if he would just get out of his own way. Anyways, I walked into the room and the kid is throwing books, flipping desks, shoving the teacher's aide. I told him to get out. He approached me yelling and cursing. I walked to the exit of the building next to the classroom. He follows me. I tell him again to leave the building. He tells me to fuck off and grabs the fire extinguisher from its housing on the wall. I grab the fire extinguisher from him, put it back in the housing. He then gets in my face and tells me not to touch him. I tell him again to leave and point to the door. He then backs up and swings on me, and I dodge. I shove him hard to the exit and tell him, Blake, you are making a mistake. I will fuck you up, son. And he walked out. He was arrested and released. Can I have a house red, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Where was I? He was arrested and released. We'll have court sometime in the future. This was a few months back. I told my boss what happened. She just shrugged it off. She said, fuck around and find out, I guess. The student returned a week later. He asked to speak with me. He apologized, and I apologized too. Our relationship has been the same as it was before, ever since just another day in alternative school. Well, what's your takeaway from that one, Bunny?
They don't get paid enough.
I would love to hear you say, I will fuck you up, son.
I will fuck you up, son.
Oh, that's going to be my ringtone now. Anytime Bunny texts me, that's going to pop up on my phone. If you join the Patreon, you can get a ringtone from Bunny O'Hare saying, I will fuck you up, son.
I completely forgot what my response was going to be now. No, I feel like at a certain point, speaking the kids' language, like if physical aggression is what they know and what they've grown up with, like at a certain point, that's what they understand. The teacher didn't actually swing on the kid swung on the teacher. Like, it doesn't appear to have damaged their relationship. Like, obviously, that relationship being built up ahead of time was a big part of that, but I mean, sometimes when that's what you know, when somebody speaks that language to you, that's what makes a dent.
Yeah. I've never had to threaten a student like that, but I don't know. I haven't had a kid come up swinging at me. Wayne, would you ever tell a kid, I will fuck you up, son?
Not in those words, no. I'm a little bit more creative, and I would just simply say, don't worry about dental records.
What? What do you mean?
Well, I would explain it if I had to, yes. So.
I don't know. Count, have you ever had, I mean, I got my takeaways. What's your take on this?
I do believe that teacher met that student exactly where he needed to meet him, because otherwise it sounded like he might have to meet him in a parking lot or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't complying at all, but I don't want to focus on that. I'm more about the resolution of it. If he came to school once every 10 days and then he came back, 7 days later, he apologized, teacher apologized, you dapped it out, hug it out. I'm all for a peaceful resolution. But yeah, I may have said some colorful things to students before.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but normally the point was well received and taken as in, oh, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Lucille?
So, in the heat of the moment, people are going to act on their feelings.
Yes.
And sometimes you need to become human to say the things you need to say. You got to become human. You got to become relatable. You got to be like, look, dude, I'm on your side, but like, sit the fuck down, check yourself, do whatever you got to do to save that kid. Teaching special ed, I've seen it. I've seen it in action. So that's, I think, a lot of the reason why the relationship was unharmed. Meet them on their emotional state, and also like humanize yourself.
Yeah. I like the humanize yourself. I think it's important. I think an important part of this one is that not only did the kid come and apologize, he apologized to the kid as well. Because they both crossed the line there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, where I follow up with that one, though, is that, like, this is all well and good if it's an educational space, but when it comes outside of the educational space, if the cop got involved, that would not end well, period.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a thought that popped in my head as we were talking about it, and I was like, yes, humanize, yes, meet them where they are, but unfortunately, that's not setting them up. So,
I don't know, maybe like, I'm sorry, you're sorry, let's talk about the future and how this can fuck up your day outside of where we did this.
that I could go for.
Yeah.
There's also that element of like what part of your brain is in control at that moment. Like for that kid was escalated and he was not in, it's been a hot minute since I had ed psych, the frontal lobe part of the brain that's doing the cognitive thinking. He was in animal, like fight or flight, survival instinct part, trying to reason with that child in that moment, his reasoning part of his brain was offline. Like, he was escalated. He, like, before you can have a discussion about consequences and how this is going to fuck up your life, like, you have to get the kid down from that state first, because they are not going to be able to hear reason when their brain is that activated.
No, when their adrenaline's going, they can't reason. It's, fight or flight.
Yep.
You're here. Cheers! All right, clink, 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 clink. Some of those were plastic, some were glass.
Hey, stop judging me.
All right, this is from... This is from mysanantonio.com, and it's an article by Sarah Martinez, and it's Fart Spray Senior Prank Leads to Felony Charges for Texas Students. I feel like this is going to be the fuck around find out category. 2 Texas teens are facing felony charges after their senior prank caused multiple students to be hospitalized. Court documents state the students brought cans labeled fart spray to school, items that have been deemed prohibited weapons according to authorities. Mr. Flores and Navarrete, I don't want to say their names. 2 kids now face third-degree felony charges in the prank that resulted in a strong odor at Caney High School in Conroe outside of Houston. The stench was so bad the school was evacuated twice in an attempt to find the source, while 7 students were taken to the hospital for further care after complaining of headaches and nausea. The students were released from the hospital that same day, but Conroe ISD is taking the matter seriously. We can affirm that even initial evidence outlined in the charge indicates that this accident goes beyond the scope of a benign prank. The arrest warrants for the students claimed the spray, which is available online, was capable of causing psychological effects on human beings.
Fart spray?
Fart spray. I think that's like the advertise, like, oh no, it's gonna mess with their head. I feel like they're really reaching. I haven't finished the articles, and I know some kids got headaches and upset stomachs.
Yeah, but
I don't know if felony charges need to be brought for kids popping fart spray in school.
Well, but if you create a disturbance that causes an evacuation of a school, like, for example, if you pull a fire alarm, that's a felony charge. There's no misdemeanor for that. Because you're causing, it's not just the interruption of the school day, you caused
let's say a terrorist
Fight or flight kind of response. Panicking.
but to evacuate a school twice in the same day, that's pretty serious.
Smells really bad.
Yeah, consequences aside, I think the felony charges are kind of a stretch, especially if it causes psychological damage or anything like that. But anytime you have to evacuate a school, there should at least be some kind of a fine.
Yeah.
I wonder. I know parents love it. I just feel like it's fart spray. Now, granted, I don't think the kids knew how bad. I would imagine if I got something called fart spray, the hallways might stink, the classroom might be smelly, but in half an hour, 15 minutes, it'd be fine. But
That stuff lingers, though. It singes the nostrils.
didn't you have that in your classroom in the spring?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
No,
Is
okay,
it
so
worse than Axe?
it's
Sorry.
it like hangs in the air. It stains the inside of your nose.
Okay.
It is potent. So I depending on how much got deployed, I have no trouble believing that parts of the school had to be evacuated because of the stank.
Okay.
But yeah, I still feel like felony charges, I don't know, I could see it, if it triggered some kid's asthma attack or something like that, then yeah, I could, possibly see that, but I have smelled this stuff. It's nasty, I'm not gonna lie, but not felony charges. Come on.
I feel that's good. Suspension probably be good. If they're graduates, maybe not walking, but I just feel...
Back in 2000.
What did you do? Did you spray the fart spray?
Talk to us.
No, but we made our crazy Spanish teacher believe that there was shit on the back of the radiator. And I think somebody actually has a spray.
Yeah.
And I say this because I remember her, and maybe it was just her, in her head, being like, oh my god, I just can't.
Yeah.
But we just moved classrooms. Now sometimes, and I'm going to get flack for this too, I think that people overreact in schools because they're afraid of what the consequences will be from parents.
Yeah.
a lot of the times. We switched classrooms. That was it. But I know somebody went home and said, and let's all be fair about this. Kids will say things to say things.
Yes.
Yeah.
My friend and I, we smelled it, and we like have burning in our throats
Yes.
now. And then you get a phone call, and then that's like now the district is sued or whatever. That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah.
Parent wants their pound of flesh for inconvenience that was caused for their child, but it's not that serious.
I don't think the parents should get a say in what the punishment is. I know we talked a while back, we talked about there was an issue with your daughter at a school, and you knew the principal and you felt they weren't handling. They actually talked to you about it, and at that time, the punishment you didn't feel was right?
Right.
Yeah. But do you think that the thing is, you're involved in schools, you're a teacher, you know what's going on, so I think your rationality is a lot better than, say, just some random parent. I don't know. I feel like Lucille was saying, just because of the parents and the fear and other kids like, oh no, I have to go to the hospital too. Oh, you're going to the hospital? Oh yeah, my stomach hurts, and the kids dive on.
Yeah. That's tough. There's really no winner in that situation.
No.
But if it did cause several students to have to receive medical attention, it's extremely difficult to not have a response that would be appropriate from the school, regardless if the parents say anything about it. But someone's got to fit this medical bill if that's the case. If there is something serious that took place and it wasn't addressed what they would consider to be appropriately at school, then next time the parent shows up, there's attorneys and lawyers with them.
Yeah.
And there's pain and suffering, and I don't know. I don't think there's any win to it, but
Should have just moved the kids to the gym or the cafeteria instead of evacuating the
school. Should have opened the
school.
windows and just
Okay.
evacuated some.
Wayne?
So my thoughts on this regarding parents having say on punishment from school, I take it from the approach of, so we all know that things happen in dodgeball. We all do. Okay, we all know that somebody's going to end up hurt, somebody's going to take a headshot.
Right.
But when my son took a headshot and it broke his glasses, I wanted the principals to do more. Because one, that's his glasses. Two, that ball was obviously thrown too hard. And the next thing is, they have a camera. They can identify who did it. Why am I having to pay, say, another $400 to $500 out of pocket for a new pair of glasses when some other fucking idiot went ahead and threw a ball hard enough to break glasses? So there you go.
He's not pretty enough for yours.
Oh.
But I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember a time, okay, this is why, when I had a student in the hallway and I asked them to get out of the way. I took their arm like this.
Oh, God.
Okay,
yeah.
these are, for y'all that can't see through a speaker, I just lightly grabbed
Very aggressively. Very aggressively.
You should see the bruise on her arm.
to guide this person to the line to get out of the way of like moving traffic.
Yes.
He threw himself on the ground.
Oh, God.
Did a flop?
And
Yeah.
said, "Oh my God, you threw me on the ground." And then his friend said, "I saw him."
Sorry. Yeah. It's
So
bullshit.
all I'm saying is like, I think there should be precaution taken. I think we should move kids to another room, a gym, whatever, and people should be held responsible. Like those kids, be like, okay, enough is enough.
Yes.
But I don't think we need an evacuation from the entire school and so on and so forth. I just,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our last one before we get to our little Patreon push. This is from Lady Wild's Banshee, and it says, iconic mom response, flattered and cackling. So on Thursday, my 10th graders in a co-taught US 1 class were supposed to be taking notes on each other's presentations for an assessment grade. Easy stuff. Pay attention, take a couple bullet points, turn it in. But there's always that one kid, right? This time it was a young lady with absolute wild moods, like can change in seconds. I was walking back across the room while a group was speaking, and the girl was watching TV on her phone. I tapped the desk and said, "Put that away, okay?" And kept going. Apparently, she immediately made a face, mouthed the word bitch, flipped me off, which my colleague saw. Colleague wrote it up, sent a message home with our translation app, and I think it's over. Yesterday morning, I get pulled from period 1 for a conference. I'll be real. I was prepared to be righteous, thinking this wasn't going to go my way. Oh, I was wrong. Apparently, this mother saw the write-up, lost her ever-loving shit because I am basically the only person who tolerates her lewd little kid anymore. She took the phone away indefinitely and marched the girl into school personally to find me and make her apologize. The principal intervenes inside class and said we could meet in a bit, so the mom left. But I got my apology, admin was on my side, and the mom emailed me to ask what to drink because she's going to buy me a bottle out of the kids' allowance this week. I am definitely going to enjoy this weekend. That's a good mom.
That is a good mom.
Fantastic.
How much did the McAllen 15 years set you back?
Hey, welcome! Now, my daughter was horrible her third grade year. She was struggling with lots of things, all kinds of change in her life, and I gave her mom a $100 gift card. No, 50. I didn't give her 100 to Total Wine. And I was like, "I'm so sorry. Have a good weekend."
You gave it to the teacher?
I gave it to the teacher.
Okay, you said you gave it to her mom.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, her mom can drink on her own.
And that's the thing about special ed. You don't get gifts like that.
No, you don't.
No.
Specials either.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Specials doesn't get as much, but since I've moved and have been teaching at private school, I definitely do get a lot more teacher appreciation gifts. I spent about $140 a day at Target, courtesy of gift cards that were given to me from parents. I was like, oh, I need some new picture frames and new sheets and, replace that one pair of socks.
Father's Day is coming.
I don't want those. All right. Well, friends, hey guys, guess what? What? We have a Patreon.
We do.
That sounds naughty.
It is naughty. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to our Patreon, which has all kinds of exclusive bonus audio content where you can hear interviews with the host, lost episodes, all kind of great things, and you get your name right at the beginning of the podcast. So sign up and do it now. Woo-hoo!
I'm on food today, so just let me know if y'all need anything.
I'm good on mine. You drink good?
Alright.
Cool, thank you.
You know what? I'm going to do one more red.
Yeah, absolutely. The house reds.
Yeah.
I'll take another.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Got you. Anybody else get anything out of it?
I'm good, mama.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember what show my wife used to watch. She made a song. Someone named Augustus something made a song about Pinot Noir. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
From the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
What is it?
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Yes, yes.
Fancy car.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've probably seen 2 episodes of the show. My wife loved it, and she was, "You gotta watch this." And it was one of the funniest things I've watched in the past 5 years. Something on Andromedus.
Titus
Andromedon,
yeah.
Andromedon made a song called Pinot Noir. I won't do it any justice. You gotta watch it. You gotta YouTube it. It's
I need
really.
you to sing it for me.
Do it.
I don't know the song. But I'll sing anything.
I'll send you all the link.
It's fun.
It'll be on the Patreon. They'll be doing Sweet Transvestite. It'll be perfect. So what is our Would You Rather for now? What do you guys have?
Okay, so here it is. Would you rather get slapped in the face every time you thought about sex, or sneeze continuously while having sex? Sneeze continuously.
Would they slap me during sex too?
I mean, if that's your thing.
No?
Yep, that's your thing.
So, Bunny, are you?
She's trying to find
I
the
would be
loophole.
curious how often Bunny thinks of sex.
The question does not specify.
Despite the fact that I am named for a bunny rabbit, not that often, so I'm going with slapped. So
Yeah,
I have a toddler, it's not on the brain much anymore.
I'd have to find a partner who wouldn't get like turned off by me sneezing constantly. I mean, would I have to wear a mask? I like that. Oh, that's hard. But I mean, I do think about sex quite often.
Yes.
So being in school, just having someone walk up and slap me like every 5 minutes, and yeah, I don't know. I gotta think on this. Well, your mind wanders. You'll be sitting at the desk and.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Okay, first of all, it's not about women sex. I think about sex continuously.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the environment. Like a teacher walked by, like, hi, and they're like, oh yeah, remember blah blah, blah, and my mind will just kind of go. And what am I gonna try tonight? Well, I mean, you obviously thought about sex in a non-sexual environment. Everybody has. There's no way you can have not. I'm sure you thought of sex while you were teaching.
As you know, I am a good, like, Southern girl.
Yeah, we've heard
I do
that.
nothing wrong. Ever.
Yeah. Period. The end. Yeah. I mean, but there's also a difference between thinking about sex and being turned on. I am not turned on in school. So I can think about it. Awesome.
This is true.
Okay, you have a point.
Yeah. Count, what about you?
Oh, gosh. The amount that I think about sex. I'm gonna go ahead and just go with the sneezing. I think about sex a lot. But
Could you sneeze for 45 seconds straight?
Well,
I was just thinking it last.
But then I rally after that.
I'll be sneezing again, baby, soon. Give me a minute.
Bless you.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah,
She's gonna be like, man, you're faking sneezes. You're not really sneezing, you're
I'd be
done.
slapped a lot though. And not just like at work. Like I think about sex a lot. So
I know, it's an issue.
How does that work? Like if you're by yourself, like you're driving in your car.
Do I need to tell you what happens when I'm by myself and I think about
but I
sex?
mean, like, how does somebody like slap you while you're
listening
like,
to a podcast. I feel like you
Just don't take
feel
an
the
Uber.
impact in your face.
Who is slapping me in the face?
That's a good question. It didn't
The
say.
question did not specify.
Like, am I gonna like?
It's like a ghost. Like
What if Alex slaps you?
hold on.
If Mr. What was the name of the Mr.
Clark
Bluth
Kent?
comes and slaps you?
It does specify in the face, so I'm sorry.
It says in the face.
yes. So
But who slaps you?
it does not specify
Like
that.
if I get a
there's
dainty
just
little
there's a
tap?
hand that just.
Or is this like Will Smith at the Oscars? What's going on?
Wow. So
Is this just a little tap naughty boy?
I went back to look at the question so that I could figure out, like, does it
funny.
specify the face? Could we be slapped on the
There's
ass?
some kind of scientific evidence out there about like sneezing and orgasms.
I think that is connected.
So I'll just sneeze.
You know, if everyone's doing it, if I can find a partner who's sneezing as well, I mean, we'll just get like the salad shield in between our faces. Oh, I wouldn't want to wipe that down after. That'd be bad. So, Lucille, what was your final answer? You're gonna sneeze. And Bunny, what did you end up with?
I'll get slapped.
I feel like I'm sold on the sneeze. I think I'm with you there. Choo! Thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I thank all of you for listening today. I thank my hosts who are here with me, Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Thank you for having me back. It was a pleasure as always.
And also Miss Lucille Lane.
Hey, see you next time.
And Count Chocolate.
Yes, I'm the Count. Thank you for tuning in.
And Mr. Wayne Kurr.
2 bars does not support porn.
Oh, deep breaths, deep drinks, cheers! Woohoo! All right, folks, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast, recorded live at State and Ale Bar. Yeah, they were nice enough to let us be there this time. We will be back next week with another new episode. I apologize for the background noise. We're working on, getting all the bugs out for this live recording type stuff. But I'd like to thank all my hosts who are there. I'd like to thank all the patrons who subscribe. And you too can be a patron of this podcast and be one of the ones I thank and message and get to talk with. I would love that. Anyway, everyone, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your summer. Peace.